Heard around the world by everybody and their mama. The Jesse Lee Peterson Radio Show.
We're talking about the Confederate flag. Should it go or should it stay? The governor of South Carolina said yes. And for some reason, she has this weird notion that it is uniting the races rather than dividing. I am starting to wonder what in the world is going on in my great nation. CJ Pearson is here, a young man, black male, who believes that the flag should go, even though it doesn't upset his life. And Byron Thomas is here from South Carolina. He's a college student. He believes that the flag should go. Byron, did you say on CNN that the flag should stay?
No, sir. I told CNN the same thing I told you. I said, I agree with our governor. It's time for the flag to come down so every South Carolinian can truly love South Carolina just like I do. Yes, sir.
I want to play another soundbite. This is from CNN. Chris Cuomo quoted Don Brennan, pride in one's hatred. Listen to this.
It's not just a symbol of hate, it's actually a symbol of pride in one's hatred. You've put it very well there, representing the objection to this flag.
Byron, what does the flag represent to you?
Well, I have an ancestor named Benjamin Thomas that was a cook for South Carolina Regiment, and I am not going to turn my back to what he did for the South. I refuse to do that. So I honor what he did for the South, and I have my flag for him. And also, South Carolina gave its black Confederate troops pensions after the Civil War. So I'm proud of my state for doing the right thing. I don't use my Confederate flag as a symbol of hate or racism because I have no hate for anyone in my heart. I use my flag to honor my ancestor.
So would your ancestor want the flag removed?
Personally, I have no clue at this time how he would feel about it. But, I would hope that he would want it removed just so every South Carolinian can feel the love of their state like I do. Yes, sir.
CJ, what does the Confederate flag represent to you?
Definitely. I think that what this flag represents, it represents the past of the South, to be quite frank. I think this represents human bondage and slavery, something that we just don't we don't tolerate here in America, and we don't allow, as per our Constitution. So I would say that this flag, while the impact it has on many people has been less over time due to, since it's been such a long time since it's actually, been widely used. But I think overall, if you look at the history of this flag, no one can discount the fact that this represents human bondage and slavery. And there are many that will attempt to rewrite history and say the Civil War wasn't fought over slavery. But, if you really do just a hint of research, I learned this in the second grade, this was fought over slavery and to remain and to preserve the institution of slavery. And that's not something we stand for as Americans.
CJ, do you think that most black people hate white people? Oh, let me ask this first. How about the folks in South Carolina and other parts of the South that like this flag there because it represents pride for them and nothing to do with racism? CJ, do you care how they feel?
Now, here's the thing. You can represent your pride in many ways than simply a flag. You can wear T-shirts, you can wear bumper stickers, you can wear all of that. No one is saying, let's ban the flag, let's write a law that says you can't wear this, you can't wear that. That would trump the First Amendment. That's something that I would never support. But here's what I'm saying, that this flag does not deserve and shall never, and should never have been here in the first place on public grounds flying higher than the United States flag on the state capitol. That is egregious, and that is something that we cannot stand for, not only as Americans, but as conservatives. And to be quite frank, why are conservatives as a whole defending an institution that Democrats instituted? Why don't we just let the Democrats take pride in their own achievement, putting this flag up, designing this flag, and making it, the national flag over the CSA, And let's fight against it. And Governor Haley has led that fight, and she's making Republicans look a heck of a lot better now.
And what do you say about that, Byron? Those people who see this flag as a sense of pride in the South, do you care about how they feel about the flag coming down?
Yes, I definitely care about how they feel, and I've spoken to many, and they feel the flag coming down allows Dylan's hateful message to prevail, and it makes them feel like they're just going to get pushed aside, and everyone's going to see them as racist now. And I just hope every American would do like Dr. Martin Luther King said and judge people by the content of their character, because there are a lot of good people that own the Confederate flag that have no racist bone in their body. And now, because of Dylan's actions, people, when they see someone having a Confederate flag, they're going to think of what Dylan did. And I just ask Americans not to condemn everyone with a Confederate flag. But I hope those people that do want the flag to stay on the State House grounds to just put your guns down and think for a second that it's time for South Carolina to move forward united. And it's time for us to stop fighting this same fight that we continue to fight, because I want South Carolina to continue to be the most patriotic state in America, because right now we're currently voted the most patriotic state in America, and I want everyone to feel that pride like I did, but they won't until that flag comes down. Yes, sir.
So you think that by taking the flag down, all of a sudden most black people are going to love white folks? Are black people most black people are hating white folks because of a flag, or due to the brainwashing and demoralizing of black Americans? They have been made to believe that white folks are their problem.
Well, if I could interject here, I don't know the exact question. Was this? Yeah, okay. So basically, I would have to say that, if you actually look at, to assume that you would first have to assume that black America hates white America already. And and to assume that, it would be something we just can't do. But I would have to say that if you look at this flag, the flag represents it's a divisive nature. It's a divisive symbol. And there's no room for that symbolism in this country that represents bondage and even slavery. And I'm not saying that race relations are going to automatically improve just because we get rid of this flag. But I do believe that it's a step forward, and every step makes a difference. And if we are really going to live in harmony as a united citizenry, then we need to remove these divisive figures, and we need to come together as Americans who all believe in freedom, all believe in liberty, and who will all do whatever it takes to maintain and fight for equality here in this country.
Byron, do you think removing the flag is going to cause black people to love white folks, or will they continue to be brainwashed and dumbed down about white racism?
Well, I truly believe that removing the flag will not automatically improve race relations, because we got a lot of problems in this country, and it's sad because it's 2015. Like, I'm a senator at the University of South Carolina, and there have been times where black students will come to me and tell me how white students will ride around and yell out of their cars and call them the N-word and speed off. That is a problem. I truly think that we need to sit down at the table with loving hearts and listening ears and put our pride aside and figure out why we have yet to realize that we are all children of God and that we are all the same. So again, removing the flag will not automatically improve race relations, but it's a step. But we still need to come to the table and figure out how we can become one nation under God.
When I come back, we're going to take a few calls for you. And I want to know, do blacks and Democrats believe in freedom? Back in a moment. 888-77-JESSE.